What do you think happens when there's confusion on a project site? Let's say you're reading the specifications for a project and they tell you to do something a certain way, and you look at the drawings and they tell you to do it a different way. Well, when those questions come up, you have to do what's called a request for information. This is an official process for you to get clarification on unclear project elements. They could be unclear on the drawings, the specifications, actual field conditions. There are a number of different things that may cause an RFI to arise, but it's the process you have to use to get that clarification. Now, RFIs are often the first step in getting a change order, because oftentimes when something's unclear, it may result in a change in what you have to do. That change has to be documented as a change order to make it an official contract change. When you prepare an RFI, you should be very specific. You should not leave anything to question. If the architect or engineer that has to answer the RFI has to contact you for more information, then you did not do your job well enough. You should specify what page the architect should look at in the specifications. You should specify what page and in what area the architect should look at in the drawings. You should be very clear in the way you word the question. Don't give the architect an opportunity to ask you another question, because you want a response to your RFI as quickly as possible. Sometimes that RFI might result in a change order. Even if it doesn't cost the owner any more money, you want to make sure that those clarifications become part of the contract itself. And you can only do that through a change order. Now, if you remember, a change order is when both parties agree to the change. You both sign the agreement to the change order, which makes it part of their contract. Sometimes a project's moving very quickly and you don't want to stop long enough to negotiate the change. So an owner might say, just keep on working, do this work, and we'll deal with it later. That would be a change directive because it's unilateral. The owner told you to do it, you did not agree to it, but you're doing it to keep the project going, knowing that you should be able to work it out later. And there's really just 3 ways to work out a change directive. Number 1, you could ignore it. Let's say the owner asked you to remove a couple of extra trees. You could remove the trees and not make a big deal out of it and just let it go. So you wouldn't get paid more, it just goes away. You can agree on a change order. Let's say the owner asks you to remove the trees, and then you negotiate a price with the owner that it's going to be $500 a tree. You write a change order to the contract so that you get paid $500 a tree. And the last alternative, which may be the worst, is that you cannot agree. Let's say you believe you should be paid for removing those trees, but the owner says, oh, it's not that much, just throw it in. But you don't want to throw it in. If you can't come to agreement, then you're getting to the point where you have to file a claim. And a claim is just a demand or an assertion by one party to another party of the contract. It may be for payment, it may be for schedule changes, or it could be something else. If you have to submit a claim, it means that things didn't go so well.